Welcome to Happy's TV. Glad you guys can make it over here tonight. I got my co-host with me, JT, and we're doing a little double deal here for a few minutes, and we're going to go over some things that involved a brother of Jason. And oh well. Anyway, he's been around for quite some time. He's very close to JT, and they he's a man of God. Okay, he's a man of God. Amen. So Jay's going to talk about it and get it out to you guys about the story about his kidney problems. He was a victim of the system, and JT's going to share that with us. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, thank you for having me on. Uh, I have a friend. We're going to just call his name Michael for the sake of privacy. He unfortunately had a heart attack a couple of years ago, and he's been on. They had to do a catheterization. He had a widowmaker. They had to go in and put stents in his arteries, and then he had two
Mm,
subsequent events since then where they had to go and do catheterization again. So the most recent
hmm.
event happened a few weeks ago, and we were looking into his blood work because I was asking about his blood work because I was concerned about what's causing these arteries to keep clogging up, and so
Yeah, puzzle.
and
Figure it out. Yeah.
looking at the lipid panel, the triglycerides, the cholesterol and all that, and everything was okay. Now, granted, he is on statin drugs. They put him on statin drugs
Hmm.
since the heart attack. So
Right.
his total cholesterol is very low. It's like one in the 140s, and
Hmm.
all of his other numbers are in the normal range regarding his lipid profile. He doesn't have any red flags there with any of the subparticles like the VLDLs or the LP little a, because there's nine kinds of cholesterol. There's not just two, and so
Gotcha.
you to really do the proper cholesterol test would be like a VAP test. It breaks down the subcomponents, and then you can see if there's a problem with one of those subparticles. Because they oversimplify usually, and they just do the LDL, HDL. It really does. It's not really conclusive. You want to dig, under the hood a little deeper. So there was no issues there, and I asked him about his GFR, which is the glomerular filtration rate, which is a metric used to measure kidney function.
Hmm. Yep.
And that really doesn't have anything to do with the heart per se or what his issue is, but just out of curiosity, I want to know because I happen to know about the kidneys a little bit and how underrated it is and how overlooked problems with the kidneys can be. So,
Exactly.
so sure enough, I find out his GFR is at a 56. And I said, Michael, 56, that's not a good number. And he's
Not quite.
no, because he's only in his mid 50s, and 56 is actually considered stage three kidney failure. And his
Yes.
doctor did not mention anything to him about this metric on his blood work. They didn't say a
My
thing.
goodness.
And what do you think about them apples, Jay? I mean,
Yep.
you got stage three kidney disease, and your doctor doesn't even tell you. So this is one of my pet peeves with the medical establishment, and why I advocate that we need to be an educated consumer when it comes, especially regarding our health, and understand these numbers in the blood work, and what these ranges mean. Because if you leave it up to your doctor might not tell you anything. He might not. And why put your health in somebody else's hands when we have the capacity to learn a few basic rudimentary fundamentals that can help us with our health and wellness, right? So,
Yep.
in fact, I have a chart I would like to share with our audience that goes over these numbers. All right. So, this
Yeah. That's
is
beautiful. Y'all are gonna love this. You will definitely gravitate to it. It's the
this
best chart yet. Go ahead, JT.
This is the National Kidney Foundation's website, kidney.org. And so here we see it looks like a speedometer, and the top of the speedometer is 120. This is the GFR, the glomerular filtration rate, a metric used to measure kidney function.
Yep.
So the
Yep.
top is a 120, and zero is kidney failure, or 15 to zero.
Mm-hmm.
And on my friend's blood work, it showed, like I said, he had a 56, so he would be under this orange piece of pie here called kidney
Yep.
disease. And his blood work, the normal range, it says a 59 or greater. So 59 or greater, that's considered normal. But in this particular chart that we're looking at here, early stage kidney disease is between 60 and 90. So if you have less than 90, you're already at early stage kidney disease. But on the blood work, this is the mainstream blood work that everybody has. If you go on, and if you any of you look at your blood work for your kidneys, and you look at
Mm-hmm.
the GFR, it's going to say like 59 or 60. Great. That's the number. That's the normal range. You want it higher than 60. But I think that is that's not wisdom, because in this chart we're looking at early stage kidney disease even above 60, right? So why are we waiting
Yep.
until? So in other words, they don't even, you're not even a thing. You're not anything unless you're under 60, because now you're at kidney
Mm-hmm.
disease. So we're not talking. We're
Yep.
not
Yep.
having a conversation. We're not. There's nothing to even acknowledge until you already have kidney disease. Wouldn't it be wisdom to figure something out when you're like it's above 60, between 60 and 70, or 70 and 80? Like, hey, don't we want to look at the trend analysis and say, well, last year my GFR was at 80, and now it's at 75, or the next time it's at 70. Like, we should be looking at these numbers and looking at the trend analysis. And if the trend is not your friend, we should be working on what to do about it. We should be starting to figure out stuff, do our due diligence, use the internet, have a conversation with your doctor. But to have no conversation at all, and then wake up one morning, and then you got a 56, and then and by the way, his doctor didn't even tell him about the 56. They didn't say anything, and it's already kidney disease, and it was already not in the normal range, even on his own blood work. Because, like I said, the blood work wants it at 59 or higher. 56 is less than 59, so they
Right.
should
Right.
have, done the right thing and
Well,
brought it to attention. They did not. Why am I, a nobody with no credentials, bringing this up, and his doctor isn't?
you
I'm
know
not.
why the doctors don't? It's by design.
That,
That 60
wonder,
to
right, Jay?
90. The 60 to 90 is the no information zone on the meter.
That's the no information zone, right? We don't talk
The
about it.
NOZ. Yep.
But
Right
we don't
there.
want to talk about it until you already got full blown kidney.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes a heck of a lot of sense.
It's
So
called putting the puzzles pieces together properly where they fit. A lot of people put puzzle pieces together, but they don't fit right, right? When you're building a puzzle,
right,
it's all a matter of making the pieces fit. When the pieces fit, you have conductivity. Then you have positivity with truthfulness.
right.
That's the creator way. That is God's source creator who works through us. Amen. So we just have to stay powerful, stay in the higher love frequency vibrations, you guys, all of us. Anyway, back to JT.
Oh, so one other thing I want to point out on this chart, it shows the age brackets and the average
Mm-hmm.
GFR according to the age. So my friend is in his 50s, so he should be at
Yep.
his 93.
Mm-hmm.
It's only
Yep.
at 56. And the doctor said crickets. Said absolutely nothing.
Mm-mm.
That's what they
Yep.
paid the doctors big bucks for, to say absolutely nothing. And this is why I always say we gotta be on top of our own health, because we rely on somebody else. It's almost like anything. Like, you have a guy who manages your finances, like your investments. You know,
Yep.
the best
Yep.
people that manage your investments, you manage it yourself. Because you
Mm-hmm.
somebody else, they're going to put you in investment vehicles that are going to get the commissions, right? Not necessarily what's best for you,
Hmm.
but what's best for their bottom line. So that it's like that with every field. We got to be wise here and not just, turn a blind eye. We got to figure this stuff out, use wisdom. And with that, I wanted to go over our disclaimer that this podcast is for information purposes only, not intended to be used to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease. And the information that we shared is truthful to the best of our knowledge and testimonies. And I think that's about it. Jay, do you have anything else? Any final thoughts?
Just basically want everybody out there to thank JT and everything he's doing, and finding some good information to basically back up what we're saying based on the research that we found. So it's up to y'all to do your own research, though. Don't just count on one source for information. Go fishing for information. Fishing is our mission, everybody. Come on. Anyway, JT, it's been a great thing so far. Let's do another one.
All right, very good. All right, we're out.